go. Minister, thank you very much for your time. I was wondering if you could start by just explaining, for someone who wants to cross over from South Africa into one of our neighbouring countries, what documentation do you need besides your passport? Do you have to have a COVID-19 test? Do you get tested at the border? How does the process actually work? Minister, I'm battling to hear you. Can we start again? You might just have muted yourself. Let's just try one.
Yes.
There we go. All right, so start again from the beginning. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sally. Good evening, and good evening to the viewers and the listeners out there. Thank you very much for having me. Yes, I think it's a very good question. Ordinarily, before COVID-19, when you go through any border, one of the basic documents which is definitely needed is a passport. Secondly, depending on which country you come from, you'll produce a visa. If you are coming to South Africa, you are from a SADC country, you don't need a visa. SADC members don't need visas to visit South Africa. They've already got a permit for a period of 90 days. But now, with the advent of COVID-19, we now require you to produce a negative COVID-19 certificate. If you can't produce it, we've put up at our borders people from Port Health who will test you with a rapid antigen test, which will produce the results instantaneously. Then you can go through the border.
Okay, that really helps. Thank you very much. So the rapid antigen test, I believe, takes less than half an hour to get a result. Is this for people crossing over into, say, Mozambique and Zimbabwe, and also for people coming in to South Africa from those countries?
An antigen test takes much less than that, Sally. It only takes 15 minutes because there's administration. Remember, you've got to fill in forms and questionnaires. Otherwise, if it was not that, it will take only 1 minute, really. It's as fast as that. But because of administration, it takes 15 minutes. Yes, it depends on the requirements of a particular country. And most countries need that COVID-19 certificate. We introduced the rapid antigen test because our neighbors, particularly Lesotho, was the first one to start, complaining that many people won't afford the PCR test. And so we offer them the rapid antigen test at the border.
We know that in the United Kingdom, we are on the red list. So if you or I wanted to go to the UK for a holiday, we would simply not be allowed into the country. What is the situation with our neighbours? Are we welcome provided we've got that negative test, or are any of our neighbours actually banning us?
No, they haven't banned us. Provided we produce a negative COVID-19 test, they haven't. The little bit of problems that we experienced was in Botswana, where for the truck drivers, they definitely want a negative COVID-19 certificate, but they demand to test you on their own. In other words, you must obtain the negative COVID-19 certificate from them. So this led to truck drivers having to wait for 3 days at the border waiting for results. And this is one of the things that caused us problems at Beitbridge, if you remember, in December and January, because then the nearest border with Botswana, the nearest border to Beitbridge is Groblersdal. So all the trucks diverted from Groblersdal because the truck owners could not afford their truck being parked there for 3 days not doing business. So
we were speaking to our reporters at Beitbridge, and they showed us a 9-kilometre queue of trucks there this Monday. The truck drivers, obviously, it's a long wait. It's a couple of days' wait. They're very concerned about safety issues, perhaps being attacked as they sit there. But why it's so long, that queue?
Yeah, it was another disaster, unfortunately, which befell us. In the program which we drew, which started today, we said no, the trucks will never be allowed to queue for more than 700 meters, not kilometers, 700 meters, not even a kilometer. That is the plan we started today. But while we're putting it up, there were floods at Groblersdal in Botswana, and trucks could not pass. They all diverted to Beitbridge. Every time trucks divert from Groblersdorp for whatever reason and arrive at Beitbridge, the truck drivers, they stop cooperating with us because usually we ask them to stay in the holding areas, Sally, where they do administration, where there are ablution facilities, where there are agencies which can communicate with SARS for their administration. But once they see lots of trucks arriving from Groblersdorp, they just panic and start moving on to N1 and trying to do everything while waiting on N1, and that's what causes the congestion. Now from today, we no longer allow that. Once there is a queue of more than 700 meters, we push them into the truck holding areas. Fortunately, one of the holding areas, which is about 1 kilometer from the border gate, it has got a capacity to keep 800 trucks. And it so happened that in December, when there was that commotion,
I mean, that queue
was empty.
Minister, that queue at 5 o'clock on Monday evening was still 9 kilometers long. How long is it going to take to clear?
Monday evening, you mean today?
Yes.
Well, I did not go to Beitbridge. I'm getting that information for the first time. The person who went there was a deputy minister. And he told me that everything is going to according to the plan that we have made, because we need, what we have agreed with Limpopo Department of Transport is to give us full-time traffic officers so that they don't come when there's trouble as they used to, full-time.
Right.
Who will check and make sure that the queue is not more than 700 meters. If it was 9 kilometers, I have to find out because I'm hearing that for the first time from you.
All right. Well, Minister, I look forward to you updating us. Thank you very much. We certainly did see those visuals in our reporter, Sipa Mandlagoga, showing us a little earlier just how bad those queues were. Thank you very much, though, for your time. That's our Home Affairs Minister, Aaron Motsoaledi.